Hi there, welcome back. This is Module 4 of Step into Success. If you have not yet completed Modules 1 through 3, please go back and do that. Module 4 is about charting your course to success, creating the game plan or step-by-step action plan that you can implement to move logically toward and progressively realize the goals you have set for yourself. Remember Earl Nightingale's definition of success? The progressive realization of some worthy goal or set of goals? This module is about the process that creates that progress. You can also think of it as a map, if you will, that leads to your destination, to the success you defined in Module 1. If you have clearly defined your success, you have decided on your destination, and now you want the map that'll shows you how to get there, how to undertake that journey to success, right? Okay, I really like to use the following allegory. So if you have heard me talk about it before or have already read it in one of my writings, please be patient while I go through it again. It is my favorite way to describe what is needed to create your roadmap to success. Imagine that I am some cosmic joker or mythological trickster. One day, while you are walking down the street in your hometown, just minding your own business, even if you don't actually have a business to mind, I sneak up on you, make you unconscious, and kidnap you. Sometime later, you wake up unharmed to find yourself completely alone in the middle of some unknown jungle. Of course, you feel a bit dazed and confused, and God only knows what creatures are lurking in this dense jungle. As you look around, somewhat tremulously, you see a small wooden chest. You open it. Inside, there is a key and a note that I have left for you. The note informs you that the key is to a safety deposit box registered in your name located at the Royal Bank in Weyburn, Saskatchewan. And in that safety deposit box is a bunch of gold certificates worth $100 million. All you have to do is show up with the key I have left for you, and it is all yours. No conditions, no questions. Your destination is clearly defined, and your success is in your hands. Now, the first thought that comes to your mind is, how the heck do I get to this Weyburn place? It sure would be good to have a map. You turn the note over to see if there are any directions, and sure enough, there is a map of the world printed there. And right beside Weyburn, Saskatchewan, there is a bright, shiny gold star. It turns out that this is a very good, even magical map. You can zoom in and out. It shows all the roads and all the airports. The only thing it does not show is your current location. So here you have it, the perfect map with your destination clearly marked, and it is in your hands. But it is useless because you do not know where you are at. The critical missing piece of information is this: where are you starting from? You discover that if you hold your finger on any place on the map, it shows you the best route to get to Weyburn, but still does not pinpoint your exact location. So you might wonder, what good is this map if it does not pinpoint exactly where you are at so that you know which way to head? You cannot even take the first step until you know that critical piece of information. In your mounting frustration at your predicament, and after a few choice cuss words aimed at the perversity of the cosmic trickster who has inflicted this punishment upon you, you kick the chest and it tumbles over to reveal a mirror on the bottom. And as you look into that mirror, your present location magically appears on the map, and your best route to Weyburn, Saskatchewan is revealed. Hallelujah! Of course, you recognize that your success is not yet assured. You know that there may be obstacles in your path, jungle creatures to avoid, battles to be fought, and the journey may contain many detours. But now you know that if you persist, you can claim your fortune if you just follow the map. You have already defined your destination. It is not actually the dusty prairie town of Weyburn. It is your success story I urged you to define in Module 1, and it should have that big shiny gold star acting as your constant beacon. So this is where you are at right now. You need to look into the mirror, to do some serious self-reflection in order to clearly and honestly define where you are at before any map will be of any use to you. Once you have determined with honesty and clarity where you are, your path becomes clear. Defining where you are involves more than just understanding and accepting your current circumstances. It also involves examining your psychological state and your behavioral patterns or habits. In the previous module, we went over the character attributes of successful people. Ask yourself, how many of these do you have, and to what degree do you have them? And what are you doing to develop, enhance, and amplify these attributes in yourself to take on these new habits? Where exactly are you at in life? Are you willing to accept responsibility for where you are? Or are you still blaming it, even partially, on anything or anyone else? Perhaps some cosmic trickster. Are you willing to accept the idea that if you want to have more success in life, then you must work at becoming more? I suspect the answer is yes. After all, you are here right now listening to me. I am not going to talk much about becoming more, about the process of self-actualization right here and right now, because that topic is covered in some detail in the Empowerment 101 course, to which you already have access. And it is covered in greater depth in Empowerment 201 course, which is part of the gold level membership. I will, however, emphasize that those who are committed to their own continuous personal growth and self-actualization are those who create more success and find more fulfillment in life. I have the core belief that human beings have what appears to be an unlimited potential for growth, creativity, and becomingness. Maybe unlimited is not the right word. I should say limited only by our personal imagination. Once upon a time, people believed it was impossible to break the 4-minute mile. No one imagined that it was possible, except Roger Bannister. Now, even those who were losing the race to set a new world record are breaking that 4-minute mark. Once upon a time, no one imagined that any human being would be able to become a billionaire. Today, there are more than 2,000 billionaires on the planet, and even a welfare mom who did nothing more than write a few children's stories about the magical adventures of a kid named Harry managed to become a billionaire. A billion is a lot of money. To give you an idea about the difference between 1 million and 1 billion, if I started counting out $1 bills, and I did that once per second, it would take me 11 days to count out $1 million. And it would take 32 years to count $1 billion. So maybe your imagination precludes you from even seeing yourself as a mere millionaire. Yet every single minute of every single day, someone new becomes a millionaire. In fact, it is even faster than that. Every 45 seconds, a new millionaire is minted somewhere on the planet. And this is despite the fact that many of them are no more talented than you, no more privileged than you, and not even smarter than you. So here are some interesting facts for you to consider. These data points are collected from multiple studies, so these are not simply my opinions. These are the simple truths. The average millionaire went broke 3.5 times before they succeeded. Obviously, persistence was one of their character traits. So was belief in themselves. 86% of millionaires are self-made. Only 14% inherited their wealth. 66% of millionaires own their own business, and 78% started out as lower middle class or even below the poverty line. So self-reliance was clearly one of their attributes, and so was self-confidence. 88% of millionaires read educational material at least 30 minutes per day, and 67% spend less than 1 hour per day watching the boob tube. Self-improvement and discipline are obviously key personality components. 90% of millionaires planned on becoming a millionaire, and 53% of them confess to being obsessed with the idea of being a millionaire. Purpose plus passion is obviously necessary. Okay, one last data point for you. The reminder that the overwhelming majority of people who have written goals and written plans to accomplish those goals end up attaining those goals. And the overwhelming majority of people who do not have written goals and written plans to achieve any goals that they may have in mind do not attain the success they might dream of having. We talked about goal setting in Module 1. You may wish to go back and revisit that 11-point summary. So, back to charting your course. This is real life, not some allegory about keys to safety deposit boxes and magical maps. In Module 2, I spoke about creating a vision board or dream book. I hope that you have at least begun that process. Allow me to expand upon that now that we are talking about the specifics of creating that treasure map or game plan. Let's talk a little neuroscience. And don't worry, I will keep it simple. You've heard about left brain and right brain. Basically, the left brain likes words, numbers, logic, science, strategies, and game plans. And the right brain likes pictures, images, art, music, possibilities, and treasure maps. The right brain is the dreamer, and the left brain is the schemer. The communication between these two brain hemispheres is conducted via a fiber optic connection called the corpus callosum. Those folks who have a continuous flow of information back and forth between the two hemispheres are more balanced, more creative, more contributory, and more successful. Think of Leonardo da Vinci. He was both an artist and an engineer. Michelangelo was an artist, and he was also an architect. Pythagoras was a musician, and he was a mathematician. Steve Jobs was a dreamer and a schemer. I am not using the word schemer here in the negative connotation that everyone likes to come up with. Think of scheme as a plan, a schematic. Your vision of your future is created in your right brain as a picture in your imagination. The left brain creates the schematic to express that picture into the external world. All successful visionaries have a good balance between left and right brain, a continuous flow of information through their corpus callosum. Okay, just a little bit more neuroscience. The brain is an electrochemical computational device. That's it. Two of the neurotransmitter chemicals that facilitate the electrical connections between the individual neurons and between the right and left hemispheres via the corpus callosum are dopamine and serotonin. These are the feel-good chemicals. In addition to contributing to your mood, they also facilitate cognition, learning, and memory, and they assist you in creating new neural networks. Interestingly, although there is plenty of serotonin produced in the brain, most of the body's serotonin is resident in the gastrointestinal tract. So those gut feelings are as dependent upon serotonin as is your ability to create and reinforce new neural connections. Equally interesting is that dopamine is directly contributory to the immune system, so that we can see that when you feel good about life and yourself, your immune system is stronger and healthier. Think about that for a moment. When you create a positive vision for your future and a tangible plan of action to manifest that vision, you also create enhanced mental and physical well-being. Healthier mind, healthier body. So, what does it all mean? Creating treasure maps or vision boards or dream books are mostly right brain activities that produce serotonin and dopamine. It feels good to do these activities. Play some good music at the same time and you increase the flow of these neurotransmitter chemicals. This increases motivation and arouses passion. And yes, serotonin is also involved in sexual arousal. Big hint here about creativity and the transmutation of sexual energy. Writing is a left brain activity. So is creating that game plan. Breaking those goals of yours down into specifics and putting them into timelines by writing them down makes sense to the left brain. It also then produces those good chemicals, those feel-good chemicals, to satisfy the rational mind that you actually have a plan. And now, because of that, you are operating with both hemispheres, getting whole brain integration, like Leonardo da Vinci. And here, I would like to recommend another book for you called How to Think Like Leonardo da Vinci. All right, enough brain science for now. Let's get back to the practical left brain stuff, creating that logical success plan. So some tough love. You and you alone are responsible for defining your success. You and you alone are responsible for looking in the mirror and accepting where you are at right now and taking responsibility for what you need to become in order to achieve what you desire to achieve, accomplish, and attain in life. And you alone are responsible for looking at the distance between where you are at and where you want to arrive and deciding how it is that you're going to get from here to there. Creating the map is also up to you, but I can offer some advice. Since we exist in a temporal spatial universe that is governed by cause and effect, all things we wish to create are related to both time and space and must be defined by them. Yes, it is important to have a long-term plan for your life, an overriding purpose that governs the direction of your life and that evolves as the world changes and as you grow. That long-term plan, that purpose, provides continuous meaning and motivation for you. However, I suggest that you create a 5-year game plan. Where can you imagine yourself ideally being in 5 years? Write it down. How does that relate to where you are at now? What distance do you need to travel? Break that down into yearly increments. How close to your goals will you need to be in 4 years, 3 years, 2, 1 year? Then break it down into the next 12 months. How far will you need to get in the next 6 months, in the next 30 days? Map that out with pen on paper. Take the time to do it properly so that it makes sense to you and becomes a tangible thing, a real plan with real tangible goals or mileposts. And then simply ask, what do I need to do starting immediately? Create that to-do list and go get it done. No excuses, no procrastination, no waiting for conditions to be just right. Just take that first step into your success. Now, I know that I just spent some time here talking about millionaires, but you know as well as I do that your success is more than just about money and material abundance. You have different aspects of self, and they all need to be taken into consideration. I believe that a well-rounded, successful life is about having a measurable amount of physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and material well-being. I go into that in much greater depth in the Prosperity Mojo course, which is also available to you here on Delphin World. I also go into much more detail about how to create a winning game plan. In the meantime, when you set out your 5-year plan, take all aspects of your life into consideration. So, there you are. All the tools you need to create that magic map to take you from here to your success are right here on this website, available to you. Dig out that internal compass that tells you when you are on or off track, lets you know if you're going in the right direction, and begin that journey. Take that next step. Every day is an opportunity to turn your to-do list into a ta-da list. You should be celebrating your success. So, we will see you in the next module. Ciao for now.